Hello my loves, what's up, what's going on, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, the Moon Empress, and nice to see you again. So today's video is going to be another pick a card reading with the topic how to build your dream life. So yes baby, we're talking about what we need to do to get to our desired outcome, to our dream life. So I don't know about you, but I am pretty excited about this topic. And without further ado, let's just get into today's reading. So, if you're new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you guys a little rundown of how things work. Over here, we have pile number 1, 2, and 3. So, take a moment, pause the video if you like, and choose the pile you feel most drawn towards. Over here, I've also placed some crystals, if you guys like to choose with crystals. Here we have some red jasper, some snowflake obsidian, and some tiger's eye. Woohoo! So yeah, go ahead, pause the video if you like, and choose the pile or the crystal you feel most drawn towards. After you're done, scroll down in the description box and pick the timestamp link to your specific pile. So then you can go on ahead and watch your reading about how to build your dream life. So with all that being said, let's just hop into today's video. Let's just see how we can build that dream life. Let's just see how we can do it. And let's just start now. Okay, group number 1. So let me explain how things work here. Over here, we have the card that links to your blocks that you're having at the moment. Here we have the opportunities. Here, what's your next move? And here, the overall energy of what's going on and juicy stuff like that. And in the first position, we have the 4 of Swords in reverse. Here we have the King of Swords in reverse, the Page of Wands in reverse, and the 10 of Moons or Cups in reverse. So starting off with addressing the matter of the cards being reversed. First of all, take a deep breath, don't panic, we'll get through with this. This points hugely at internalized energy. So there might be something in there that you want to manifest, you want to pursue, but you keep on hitting, let's just say hitting your head against the wall. And you're doing it to yourself and maybe you're not even aware of it yet. So let's just say, for example, like you want to start a new hobby, you want to learn a new language, you want to do something, but you don't do it. And why? I mean, you don't have a reason why you're not doing it. You're simply not doing it. And you're just like always finding excuses not to do something when in fact everything depends on you. And you have to put in the effort and put in, the power and do something about it. So here is more about you getting out of your comfort zone, you taking, the bull by its head and just doing something for a change. Because here we're dealing with a lot of stagnant energy. So starting off with blocks, 4 of Swords in reverse. So this points at, releasing the blocks, release those anxieties, release those worries. Like you see this in this card, how he's meditating. I mean, let's just hold it like this. So you see, it's like meditating, it's calming the mind down. And here we're having the waxing crescent moon. So you're building the momentum. And when I'm saying that you're building the momentum, I mean that you build, that momentum inside your core, inside your body, so that you can be prepared the moment you step out of your comfort zone, so that you can face everything that comes your way. So in this blocks area, it talks more about how to get into that perfect state of mind, how to be in that calm state of mind, how to, have all these ideas flow in and not just like be, oh, a new idea, okay, moving on, oh, another great idea, moving on, oh, the third great idea. I'm such a creative person, I have so many ideas. Well, you can be the most creative person in this earth as long as as long as you don't act upon your ideas. That's the difference between people who get to their dream lives, people who get to their goals, and people who don't. They actually get out of their comfort zone and do something about it. So you really need to get into that energy of getting things done. And it's okay. I mean, it's totally fine and okay to take breaks. It's totally fine and okay to care for your body, care for your mental state of being, care for, all of that. But until a point, because you cannot live your whole life being inside a box, let's just say like that. You cannot live in a box. No one can. It's inhumane to live in a box. So let your mind be free. And the more you act upon your ideas, the more ideas you're going to get. And the more ideas you're going to get, the greater they become. And the more the more you manage to change things, and the more you manage to, move into the direction you want to go. Okay, moving on with the King of Swords in reverse. This means that, again, your mind is great. You are great at ideas. And also when I look at this card, it kind of like, when you get ideas, it's like, oh, that stroke of lightning. Even though we don't have lightning, but you know what I mean. We are having ideas, and our ideas are great. But we need to act upon our ideas. And the King of Swords in reverse, let me know that you are very good. You have very polished communication skills. So you're a great public speaker, so to say. Maybe you haven't explored already that area. Maybe you are starting to do now, but that's a thing for you. That's where your opportunities come from. You manage to bring people together. You manage to choose your words so wisely, like you literally have a crown around them. Like, you are a great speaker. And you should know that, and you should take advantage of this ability. And this ability will bring you so much more forward than anything else. So keep that in mind and really use it. And the fact that it's in reverse, like, don't be afraid to speak up your mind. The moment you speak up your mind, that's the moment when you put yourself first. And if someone doesn't like what you have to say, well, that someone can go and do some, you know what I mean. I don't want to be mean or anything, but we come first. Like for me, I come first. For you, you come first. And no one else has the right on this earth to say something different, because you come first and you should know that. Okay? Here, your next move, Page of Wands in reverse. So we are getting curious, aren't we? So that's the moment when you step out of your box, look a bit out, get your head out of the window, see that the breeze is nice, the sun is warm, and then is the moment when you get some courage. And that is the moment when you start exploring these ideas. You start exploring, like, okay, that's great, but how can I do that? How can I do more of that? So you really need to get into these feelings, in this state of becoming an adventurous and becoming full of life and experience life at its fullest, because life should be experienced at its fullest. And here again, pointing out that you see this thread, how it's constricting that wand. So really take a closer look at what are the things that are restricting you. And again, take a look if these things that are restricting you don't come from inside your mind. The mind is a powerful asset when it's used right. But the moment you use your mind, when you go in cycles of creating negative thought patterns and stuff like that, that's the moment when your mind can really play tricks on you. And that's the moment when your mind can really affect your state of being. And that's the moment when we become unproductive. We don't want to do anything anymore, and we just have these aspirations and these dreams which we really reach high for, but we reach high for in a mental state of being. And to make the mental become physical, you need to put in the effort, and you need to put in the physical effort to drag the mental down on the physical plane and say, yes, this is what I want, and I want it, and I'm going to do it. But you need to do it. Okay? And the overall energy here is like the 10 of Moon. So this is like ultimate happiness. Maybe you are right now happy. Maybe you've already manifested a lot of the things that you desired in life. And that's great, because you know the feeling. You know the feeling of being happy. You know the feeling of being fulfilled. You know how it feels like when things are, in alignment and in this amazing flow. But there are still things that you desire. There are still more things, there is more to your story. You know the feeling of having something fulfilled, and you need to use this feeling into manifesting what you desire. As I said, there is more to your story. Use the feeling that you already know in manifesting what you want. When manifesting, it's so important to focus on feelings, because the feeling is the thing that connects us to, the vibration, and the point is that the feeling is the most important. So imagine yourself, do visualizations, and imagine yourself, how would you feel like if you have already manifested your dream life, like from A to Z, everything that you want in your life, okay? Keep that in mind and really focus on feelings. So far, the tarot cards have spoken, have said what they wanted to say, and we're going to move on because we have more cards here. And these astro cards are next, and let's see what they want to say here. Oh my god, this is so exciting. So we have here Taurus and Jupiter. Oh yeah. So Taurus, trust, patience, stability, and Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion. As I said lately, there is more to you. There is more that needs to be expanded. There is more to your story. So don't be afraid. Go for it. Try to get out of that comfort zone, get out of that box, and see what life has to offer, because there definitely is more for you in this planet. And Taurus, like this Taurus energy, it's very stable. So maybe you are a very calculated person. You take action based on plans. So start and do a plan for, a plan on how to attain your dream life. Like, start from the smallest things that you need to do, or rather start from your goals and then break them down into small actionable steps that you can do today, you can do every day, you can do weekly, you can do basically every day. It's like all the time you need to have in mind that, okay, this thing, like for example, if you want to have a healthier life, you want to eat healthier. Let's say it's a situation where you're going to go and buy some lunch, and you can choose. You can either have some pizza, burgers and stuff like that, or you can go for a healthy salad or something that's much healthier than a pizza and burgers. What do? Well, you can either succumb to your inner desires and go for that pizza, and that's okay, because sometimes we also need to do that. But you can choose to eat healthy, and that's okay too. It's like you need to become aware of how these small steps, how these really tiny choices shape your life. And the moment you become aware of that, that's the moment when you are going to expand even more. And that's the moment when you're going to see things in a different perspective. And that's the moment when you're going to have this epiphany, like, oh my God, how have I not thought of this before? Well, it's actually so ridiculous, because we usually aren't aware of stuff like this, but that's life. Like, it's that easy. Like, one small choice can really shape the next day or how you feel. For example, if you choose to eat the pizza, like, yeah, it was good for the moment, but the next day you might not feel so good because the pizza doesn't have so many nutrients as a salad would have. So that's the thing you really need to become aware of, how small steps, how small actions, how small decision can influence, your life in long term. This is also the moment when you're going to become aware of how easy it is to actually build your dream life. You just need to have a plan, like take your goal, break it down in small actionable steps, and then see what can you do daily to come closer to your dream life. And that's that. That's the thing. And also trust patience. Be patient about it. Again, You need to do things slow on a daily basis. It needs to become part of your routine. And then you're just going to realize that it's not hard anymore. Then you'll want to do more and so on. And without you even realizing, you're going to have built your dream life. And that's beautiful. Okay, pile number 1. So let's see what else we have. I also pulled one of these archetypes cards. And here we have midwife. Okay, so midwife, as you can see here, like we have this old woman in this card, and then we have this fetus here. So what this wants to say is, like, you know, birthing that project, birthing that goal. Just put in energy, put in effort into what you want to achieve in this life, into how you want your life to be, into building your dream life, because this is what we're talking about. You really need to put the action there and look at what you've been through so far. Experience can really play a huge role when used in the right direction, again, because some people experience something negative and all of a sudden that's where the train stops. Like that's the end. Like you experience something negative and then you don't want to hear about it anymore. But that's wrong. That's how you look wrong at the experience. Yes, experience teaches us not to repeat a thing that hurt us, for example. But in order to get to that, point where you learn about your experience and what has happened, you really need to accept the experience and be willing to dive deep into it and just reflect on what has happened and how this experience has taught you something, how you evolved as a person, how it just changed you. What are the pros of the experience that you've experienced? So look back at what you've been through and, in the context of what you want your dream life to look like. Examine if the things that you've been through had kind of a teaching to where you're headed, or you've learned something from it. Because nothing is out of the blue. The universe works in its mysterious ways, and the universe knows what it's doing. You just need to really become aware of, why did you have to go through that? Why did I have to experience that? Why did I have to learn that at this young age, for example? Find that reason and see how you can align this reason with what you want to birth into this life, okay? And at the end, we also have these 2 cards. It's more like affirmation cards. So, energy flows where my intention goes. Yes, baby, energy flows where your intention goes. So set the intention and let the energy flow. Be clear on what is your goal. Again, that's also very important, because if you don't have a clear goal in mind, then energy flows, but flows everywhere, like literally everywhere. And you want your energy to flow a certain direction. Find that direction and then put in the energy there so that it can make wonders. And here, when I think I've surrendered, I surrendered more. Don't think that just because you hit a bump, you've already lost the fight. That's the biggest mistake you can ever do, especially when you want to achieve something in your life. You really need to see all these bumps that you're hitting like a lesson, or like something that you need to go through, something that will bring experience, something that will make you even greater. Every tragedy has a story to it, and every tragedy has a lesson that needs to be learned. And what you need to know here is that your mental, like if you look at this flower, I have no idea, dandelion, I don't know. That flower for me is a flower. Okay, moving on. This is a very fragile flower. Like the wind blows and then it's all gone. Poof. And that's how fragile sometimes our mind can be. And when you become aware of that, then you can use this to your advantage and you can strengthen your mind. How? Through meditation. Meditate on different matters, strengthen your mind, become so strong that, like, imagine if this plant, now, okay, we got to plant. Imagine if this plant would be made out of steel. No wind could blow it, right? This is how your mind needs to become. It needs to become a mind of steel so that no external factor can move it. Okay, so at the end of it, we're going to take this pendulum and do something fun. I'm just going to ask you to think of a yes or no question. I will do my thing and let you know the answer, okay? Okay, pile number one. So you see how it's moving? It's a yes answer. So whatever you ask, the answer is yes. Also, if it was something that maybe the answer that you didn't want to hear, don't take it hard to the heart, because everything happens for a reason. And maybe right now it's not the time to do certain things. But if you got the answer that you were looking for, then you know what to do, you know what's next, and I wish you the best of luck in building your dream life, okay? So this was your reading. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and a subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this in the future, okay? Sending you all my love, the great light, the great energy, high vibe, and all that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, so pile number two, let me quickly explain what's going on. Over here we have your blocks, the opportunities, your next move, and the overall energy of what's going on here and regarding how to build your dream life. At blocks we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. In opportunities we have the Seven of Moons or Cups in reverse. Here we have the Seven of Stars or Pentacles upright at next move. And here we have the Death card at overall energy. So first of all, don't panic. It's not that dramatic how it looks like. It's actually so good. And I'm going to start with the Ten of Swords. Whenever we see the Ten of Swords or even Death card, we all panic. But there's nothing to panic here. We are talking here about opportunities and a lot of things that are changing, and you know, you being able to shift your mentality and shift your reality. So you might be in the process of really manifesting something big. You are going towards something big, towards a goal you've been thinking lately. But let's take things one at a time. And here at blocks we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. This really talks about you releasing like what's been pinning you down. When you look at this guy over here, like you can see this long path, and like all the swords can also be all the things that this guy has been through. And we also have the mountain, which is hard to climb. So it's more about the hardships that have helped build you, build your personality, build the person that you are today. And the fact that it's in reverse, it's more like becoming aware of the hardship that you've been through and how these things have shaped you, how these things have shifted your mind, how far you've gotten, what changed, things that you've left behind. Why not? It's more about, you know, reflecting and not looking at the things that you've been through from that point of view, like, oh my God, why is all of this happening to me? Like, come on, universe, can you not choose someone else? Well, be lucky of the hardships that are happening to you, because these hardships will shape you. These hardships and these things that you've been through has really made you the great person that you are right now, the great person that you are today. And if you think in retrospective at it, probably you will come at a conclusion that you would have never changed the way you've changed if it weren't for those So it's more about shifting your perception of the past experience that you've been through and realizing how they actually helped you. Don't look at them, with hate, or be very repulsive of them, or even try to deny certain things that happen. Because, if you want to deny experiences and your experiences and what has happened to you, it's the same as denying yourself and denying that that experience has a part in your progress and your development. So shift the mindset, become aware that there's not all bad, there is something good, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Find that light at the end of these experiences and see how these have shaped the person you are today. It's more about that here when it comes to blocks. And also look at them as, these little gems that help you develop even faster than normal people do. And take this as an opportunity. And now moving on to opportunities, and we have the 7 of Moons. So here is depicted this hand reaching for the moons, or reaching for something higher. And I can tell from this card that you really have these big goals. You really have these aspirations. You really have, this thing that you want to manifest. You have this goal. You have this dream. But when it comes to, making the dream reality, you need to put in effort. You need to work hard towards that. And another thing with this is that it's okay to reach high, but don't forget that you, as a human being, you have 2 legs that are standing on your ground. So don't forget to ground yourself sometimes, because you can, from this card, I understand that you tend sometimes to have all these, ideas, or even, to change goals and change dreams maybe too often. And this card really wants to point out that it's good to be flexible. I mean, you are very flexible when it comes to this, but you really need to choose something that's really the most important. You can do a reflection on that. I mean, yeah, okay, I know it's a lot of reflection, but that's life. I'm sorry, but that's life. But again, do reflect on what is it that you truly desire? What is it that you really want in this life? How does your dream life look like? That's also a thing that you should consider. How do you want your dream life to look like? Like, really write down a schedule of how you would want your dream life to look like. What would you do in your dream day? And start from there. And also, if now it might be a bit hard to really become aware of what is that you really want, how your dream life looks like, things will become easier with time. And you don't have to, have the goal right now, or have your dream life all laid out or something like that. Just start small. Start with what would be the thing that would make you happy if you would do daily. That's also something powerful, because going through a hectic day or a normal day or whatever day, just that you find time to do one small thing that really makes you happy can change the whole day. And I really want to point out here that we are having 2 sevens. It's true that one is upright, the other one is in reverse, but this 7 energy, I mean, it points spirituality, awakening, stuff like that, but also with change and facing challenges. So I can see here in this card that things weren't easy at all. Things can also be hard at the moment. And right now that I'm looking at the stone here, the snowflake obsidian, so this is a great stone when it comes to shadow work and healing past things and so on. Maybe this can also point to why you were attracted to this. So experiences, look at them from a different perspective, because you have so much to learn. The more you go through hardships, the more you learn, and the more you learn, the more you change, and the more you change, I mean, if you want to, but the more that things are changing and you are going, you know, through these phases of becoming this amazing person, the more you are going to come closer to what your idea is of a dream life. And here the next move and the 7 of stars. So what I see in this card, your next move is really getting deep into how your experiences, how the things that you've learned have shaped you, and how you can actually put into action what you've learned. Because you didn't go through stuff just for the fun of it, or just because the universe said, oh, let's hit him with everything we got. No, you went through that for a reason. Find that reason, find that why, find that inner why, and then you might even have a better idea of what you want to do with your life. I do get this feeling that it's a lot of, you know, it's very unclear of the whole concept of what your dream life looks like, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't think that anyone has everything set in order. It just like takes time. You need to really start doing something, anything, a small step to just come closer to, let's say, what your soul is urging you to do. And this card lets me know that you have a great deal of knowledge. You have a great deal of things that you've learned. Put them into action. Bring them forth, you know. Bring them from inside out. Start to look again at your experiences from a different angle. See what you've learned. Write down those lessons and see how you can put those lessons into action. And just make an experience. Try it for a week, for example, and see how that week affects you. See what you've changed. I mean, how your persona has changed during this week. And then, you know, come at a conclusion. Do you want to do this or no? So this is what I see so far. And the overall energy, the death card, death, yeah, it talks about the death, but it talks about the death of, you know, the part of you that needs to go away, the part of you that procrastinate, the part of you that's dragging you down. Sometimes it can also point to the ego. Maybe the ego is playing tricks on you. Maybe the ego wants you not to, you know, live out your best life. And sometimes it can be the case, because think of the ego like, you know, this, let's say, person that really wants to have a quiet life inside the room and doesn't want anything else, just to stay in that room and watch Netflix all day. And I mean, who doesn't love to watch Netflix all day? But at the end of the day, after we've watched Netflix too much, we're just like, oh my God, I can't believe a day has passed and I haven't done anything productive. Well, you don't want to have that thought constantly in your mind, right? So become aware of everything I said so far. What has changed? What lessons has life thrown at you? How you can put them in action? And then see what you learn from there and see what comes out. And the things that come out probably will blow your mind, because this is how it usually happens whenever we find, you know, those 5 minutes to journal or meditate or stuff like that. This is how things happen, and then you just want to give yourself a huge slap in the face because things were so like right in front of you, but you didn't see it because God knows what excuses you found. I mean, yeah, I'm just like this because like recently I had something like this and I was just like, oh my God, this was so ridiculous. How have I not seen that? So yeah, I can understand you pile too. But again, do that reflection. It's worth it. I can tell from my experience, okay? And over here, moving on, we have 2 astro cards, and let's see what. So mutable, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. So change. We are dealing with a lot of change. And also you see this stream that is flowing. So, you know, when you hold the water in your hands and you hold it really tight, well, also when you hold it really tight, you can still like form really small holes and the water can run out. So it's more about not trying so hard to control life, but rather let it flow. Let it go. Let it flow. Let it just be like that. The more you try to control your life, the more you will lose control. And the mutable signs, like here we talk about Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces. These signs usually are at the end of each season. And that's normal. And maybe this is something that you're going through right now. You are transitioning from your old life to your new life. And it's okay. It's okay to go through stuff. You just have to be flexible and your mind has to be open to receive. And then you will start receiving, this stream of flow, stream of inspiration. Just surrender to the thing. Don't try to fight it. The more you try to fight it, the more annoying it will be, honestly. Okay, and here, again, destined to release, the South Node. So the South Node in astrology points to, past lives or what has happened in past lives. And, becoming aware of the past. I mean, yes, it can bring you some enlightenment, but from okay, what's going to happen with my life point of view, it doesn't help you with anything. It's more about accepting and releasing. Like, don't let its shadow be cast on you. Like, just release that. It's not worth it. And life is so much more about, living in the past and letting some past experiences, for example, guide your decisions. Because, for example, maybe, let's just give an example. Maybe today you want to go to the movies with someone, with a friend. But maybe you haven't been to the movies in a long time. And last time you went to the movies, you had this really bad experience. What do? You say, oh, I'm not going to go because it happened like that and blah, blah, blah. Or you're just going to, what happened. I learned from it. I know what to not do to the movies, or I know how to act and blah, blah, blah. Whatever you've learned from that situation. And then you go. And then you have this opportunity to build a really genuine, beautiful memory with a friend. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to, this release and talking about memories and past experience. You need to release the really negative stuff and embrace the positive aspects of what has happened. Okay, so moving on, we also have this archetype card. So let's just see what we have for you. Star Climber. Ooh, this is so exciting. Okay, so with this card, the Star Climber, so what this actually is, you see this snake, this snake-ish creature that's like climbing into the sky onto this ladder that doesn't even have, this much stability, but yet he's still climbing and reaching for that star which he has his eyes set on. So it's more about, reaching for the impossible. But again, the impossible is impossible when you think it's impossible. When you look at the star that you want to reach, look at how you can reach it, how you can make the impossible possible. What are the actions that you need to do today to bring you closer to your star? It's more about, also not listening to what left and right has to say. It's more about what your intuition tells you and where you're being guided and where you want to go. It's more about trusting yourself and trusting yourself that you're going to reach your goal. You're going to reach the finish line. And again, you are very focused when you want to be focused. So really think about all the things that I've said here and combine this in the context of what I've said there and see what inspires you from this. See what action you feel like doing right now. Because for sure you might get an idea right now, or you might feel inspired to do something. What is that action that you really want to do? And if your soul is urging you so hard to do it, just like pause this video right now, do your action, do whatever you want to do whatever you feel inspired to do right now, and then come back to it and we'll move on. But don't lose momentum. And we still have 2 more cards here. And these are more like affirmation cards. So I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. So at the end of the day, we are all made of energy. We are having a human experience. So no matter what happens, no matter what you're going through, always remember that it's just an experience. It's a human experience. And I mean, at the end, we will all die and we will all go back from where we came from, and then we will start over again. So don't have regrets. Don't even think about having regrets. You're going to have so many chances at life after this life, for sure. You probably had a lot of lives before. That's also true. It could be. The point is that don't let the people around you or really stupid stuff stop you from reaching your potential. Think about what is stopping you. Think about why you are not taking certain actions. What is the reason for that? What is really between you and your finish line? Just think about those, okay? Pile number 2. And here we have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. So yes, baby, miracles are so natural actually, but we just don't know how to tap into doing them because we still have so much to learn. But everything starts with love, and everything starts with loving yourself. Whenever we talk about love, love starts from within. And when I say within, starts with loving yourself first. Because when you love yourself, then it's the moment when you can also spread love. And that's the moment when you can also love other people. So everything starts with love. And miracles also come with love, okay? Love is the word for you. Pile number 2. Think about what were the moments that you really feel loved, and why was that? Was it because someone else shared love, like their love towards you? Was it because you shared love towards yourself? Really get deep into these aspects, these actually many aspects of love, and really see where you stand when it comes to this. If there are some issues with loving yourself, well, that's a start. Then you can start working on that, and you can Google on internet, and there are so many, articles nowadays about how to do self-love routines, how to increase love. Like, everything is so much more accessible to us, and really use those assets because you have nothing to lose. Again, you are a spirit having a human experience. You have nothing to lose. You are energy. Learn how to manipulate that energy and get to, your dream life. Okay, so at the end, we're going to take this pendulum. I'm going to swing in, and you are going to think of a yes or no question. If you need more time, pause the video and then start it again. And I'm just going to swing the pendulum and tell you if it's a yes or no, okay? Pile number 2. Okay, so it took a long time to think, but we ended up to a no, meaning that whatever you have asked, the answer is no. But the thing that it it was really, it took the pendulum a while to think, is that there are still possibilities. There are a lot of ways in which the energy can flow. So keep that in mind, that nothing is set in stone. If it's a no today, doesn't mean that it's going to be a no tomorrow, and so on. But if you got, to the answer that you were looking for, then you know what to do next, right? Pile number 2. Okay, and with all this being said, this was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed your reading. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked the video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this in the future. So I'm wishing you best of luck to building your dream life, and sending you all my love, lots of light, energy, high vibe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! So let me quickly explain what's going on here, okay? Over here we have the position that points to blocks. Here we have the opportunities. Here we have your next move, and here we have the overall energy. And to these positions, we have King of Wands in reverse to blocks, 3 of Swords in reverse to opportunities, King of Moons or Cups to your next move, and Page of Moons or Page of Cups to the overall energy. So pile number 3. First thing I want to mention, and usually I start from from the start, but I really want to address this card because it looks dramatic, but it's not. It's in the position of opportunities. So you are going to be given the opportunity to heal your heart, which is very important, and this is a step that you really need to take and really need to be thorough about it. So when you look at the card like this, you see all these stabs that you have in your heart, and all these sutures that you have here on your heart because you've been through pain and it was not easy. Well, these swords are still in your heart, and you need to take them out, because it's like this. You can just do like that and the swords will fall out, but you need to really shake that heart so that the swords will fall out. And it's interesting because we have this card in the opportunities, so don't take what's hurting you the wrong way. I mean, pain sucks. Pain sucks. Bottom line, pain sucks. But what can you learn from pain? I mean, it's so much more to pain that we give credit to. Your heart might be like this because you've been hurt before. But because you've been hurt before, now you have a better experience, and now you really know what you want from your heart. You really know a lot of things. This has taught you so many things, and it has given you the opportunity to grow and evolve as a better human being. That was the first thing I wanted to address because it looked dramatic. And now let's start with the start. The King of Wands in reverse to blocks. So sometimes we feel that we know it all. We might be like, we know it all, we are the best of that, and blah, blah, blah. That's great. I mean, it's great to feel that way, but that's the moment when we really need a slap on our face, honestly. Because to really succeed in life is to always be curious about things. And I feel that this is what this card wants to point out. That you've come to a point where you've worked hard, you achieve things, you feel like you aced the game, let's just say like that. And you really need to lower that bar a bit, because you might get even more hurt than you've been before. And I mean, it's okay if you don't want to lower it, then go on ahead. And if you're going to be hurt again, you're going to heal and life goes on. But let's start and do things, from a more conscious point of view, okay? Because then you have so much more to learn. And again, because I started talking about, being curious, like think when you first started. Where was your mindset? How were you feeling about things? What was your drive? What inspired you? What was the thing that has driven you so far and so far ahead and to this point? Like, really think about these things and see to what answers you come. And you know, because we have this card in the blocks position, let's just say like that. Like, yeah, you really need to release, you know, this false mastery, this false image of you being a master in a certain area, and really look at things from a fresh perspective, from the perspective of a newbie. Because when we really manage to detach ourselves from our, you know, preconceived ideas, and when we learn how to really look at things as if you wouldn't know anything about them, that's the moment when the beauty really happens. Because that's the moment when it really hits you, like, oh my God, I could do better, or I could do it that way. If I do it that way, it's more practical. If I do that, is that. So really explore things from a newborn perspective. Let's just say like that. Explore things from a newborn perspective. If you look at kids when they're young, they are curious. They are so curious. And it's like you always need to really watch out for them not to hurt themselves. But also, if kids get hurt, like, they learn that that's ow and pain, and you don't want to feel pain, right? And you learn this way. And it really goes hand in hand with this card that I've talked about before. Just because something hurt you doesn't mean that it was bad. I mean, it was bad at that time, in those circumstances, with those people, da-da-da-da-da-da. But how about you would try again? What would be different? Well, you are different because you've evolved, you've changed. How would things be? You know? Think about that for a second and see. Also pause the video right now if you want to reflect and journal a bit about what I've said so far. Maybe you would really find some beautiful insights or something that can really deepen this message. Maybe there's something more for you in this area. Okay? So, pile number 3. Moving on, we have here the King of Moons, or the King of Cups in reverse in your next move. So, if we were having here the crown up, this is the moment when you just like take your crown off. You take the mask off. You take those ideas that you had in your mind and those feelings that you were feeling, like you let go of everything. You just like let go of everything and start fresh. Look at things from a different perspective. Look at things as if you were a newborn baby and you just like learned about them, and see how that affects you. Talking about decision making, see how that would affect your decision making. See how you would do things different. And the overall energy, it's so interesting because it's the Page of Moons or the Page of Cups, and you see this string here, like it's broken, and maybe that was unexpected. And that's the whole beauty about this page. He is unexpected. In the classical Rider-Waite tarot, he has a cup, and from his cup jumps a fish. Like, who expects that from a cup would jump a fish? Like, that's insane. It's unexpected. And that's also the energy that you really need to embody. Embody this unexpected energy. See how you would do things different if you wouldn't have this, set in stone plan. See how things would change and see what beauty might arise from that. And yeah, I mean, I know we are talking about how to build your dream life, but this was a message that was speaking really loud through this card, and really it was, necessary to talk about this. And now, talking about your dream life and how to build it. Well, maybe you have already a great life. Maybe you haven't even thought about, the whole concept of having this dream life. And maybe right now you stumbled across this video, purely by coincidence. But as we all know, there is no coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. So maybe this is your moment to really reflect on what you have, what can you improve, and if you have a concept about, having a dream life, and how can you actually attain it? Like, what small step can you take in coming closer to this dream life? Okay, pile number 3. Maybe this dream life concept isn't a thing for you, but you still want to better your life, better your circumstances. We always strive for something better. And in your case, the better starts with you taking off that crown, acknowledging that you're a human being and you can do just so much, and just see, like, if I wouldn't know anything about this world, what would my first move be? What would I do? What would I do if today was my first day on this earth? Just put it that way. What would I do if today was my first earthly day? That's actually an interesting topic. So feel free to really dive deep into that by journaling, and again, pause the video if you like, journal as much as you want, and then come back. Moving on, we have these 2 astro cards. And here we have Pisces, like intimacy, intuition, compassion. So Pisces, he is the oldest of the zodiac. You have experience, but at the same time, you need to think, and you need to look also on the other side, like how would I be without this experience? What would I do different? There is always a stream of inspiration whenever we think at stuff like that. And Pisces, he's the wise one, but he's also, this intuitive, guided zodiac that's like compassionate, feels things on a deeper level. So think about, again, I'm just like looking at this card. Think about whenever you feel that your heart hurts. Why is it hurting? And probably if your heart hurts, like literally heart, like if you feel physical pain in your heart, really go and find a doctor that can take care of that. But metaphorically talking about the heart pain, think about why it's happened. Is it because of you? Is it because you hurt yourself? You keep on doing things that are out of an alignment with your soul and what your intuition is urging you to do? Or is it because of your external circumstances or people around you or stuff like that? So the point is that if it is because of you, well, you can make adjustments, you can change your life. Like, you can always say no to things and always start to put yourself first, set up some boundaries and start doing things your own way. And also, like, you have more power over this. This is what I'm trying to say. But again, if it's the external circumstances, people and so on, you can also detach yourself from that. We have free will. We choose when to say no to bullshit, kind of like that, okay? And over here we have fixed. Stability, persistence, loyalty, dependability. And the fixed signs talk about those signs that usually are in the middle of each season. And here we have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So what these all signs have in common is that they are very stable. But think about where you might stagnate, because there is some stagnant energy here. Also because we have the 3 out of the 4 cards are reversed. There might be some stagnant energy there. There might be something that's pinning you down or something that doesn't let you get out of your comfort zone. Really try and see, like, it's like you see like how this hand is like, no, stop, restricted area, no access. See where that appears and why. Okay, pile number 3. And over here we have some archetype card. And yeah, let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, the observer. So again, observe, reflect, really get deep into what's going on there. It's again, it's so interesting because this turns to be more advice about also healing your current life. Maybe you are already living your dream life. That can also be a possibility. Maybe you are living your dream life and you don't realize it. That's why maybe you also need to observe more. But again, you're living your dream life and still there are bad things that are happening. And that's okay, because life is meant to be a challenge. If life were easy, there would be no fun, right? If life were to be easy, then we wouldn't, hit our head against the wall. Then we wouldn't be hurt. And then we wouldn't learn. We wouldn't become the amazing beings that we become by going through this whole process, this whole learning experience, because every experience brings with it something that needs to be learned and something that really needs to get inside our mind. Everything happens for a reason. Find the reasons of why things have happened. And yeah, you are living your dream life from what I'm seeing. You need to really become aware of that. Like, really become aware of your life. Become grateful. Be more grateful of what you have. Like, everything starts with gratitude. And when you're grateful, you also, feel this warmth in your heart whenever you think about things that you are grateful for. And this warmth really brings you forward. And this warmth really elevates your emotion. And when you feel high elevated emotions, then you are also more happy, and also you're like a sun that bursts with energy and so on. So yeah, really reflect on what has happened until now, and also how your dream life, like how would you want your dream life to look like, and try to put them next to each other and see if there are some similarities. Because you might have manifested already your dream life. You just need a bit of polishing to do, okay? Pile number 3. And lastly, oh, this is so nice. So yeah, we have 2 more cards, affirmation cards, something like that, to end this on a high vibrational positive thing. So first, happiness is my birthright. So yes, it's your birthright. It's everyone's birthright. When we smile, we attract so much more greatness in our life. Everything starts with a smile. Even people fall in love, at first glance because of the smile or something like that. So when you smile, even though you're not happy, automatically you feel more happy because you're smiling. And let's be honest, is there any reason why you wouldn't smile right now? What's holding you back from giving a big fat smile to the screen? Why not? No one is looking at you. I can't see you, but I really encourage you to smile because it's great. It makes you feel happy. I don't know why I started talking about this. I honor how I want to feel. Yes. We feel different experiences. Well, different. I mean, we all have our own way of experiencing things. And whatever you experience might be experienced in a different way from someone else. But this doesn't mean that for them the experience wasn't genuine. The same goes, to you. But at the same time, you can't deny those people experience. You have to embrace it, embrace your own experiences. Also the ones that are like, random, mundane experiences that you do every day. For example, going for grocery shopping. It's nothing wow about it, but still enjoy it. Because you have where to go and shop. You have a grocery store that's always with food, and you can just go whenever you want there and buy food whenever you want to. It's about also trying to make the most out of every experience and try to really be happy about everything that's happening. It's about, perspective and how you look at things, the good old half empty glass, half full glass. Well, look at the fuller part of the glass and you might be surprised of how much you could find in there. Okay, so lastly, we're going to swing this pendulum. So what I want you to do is to think of a yes or no question and pause the video if you need more time to think of a question. If not, let's just swing the pendulum and I'll let you know what the answer is. Okay, so pile number 3, your answer is yes. You can see how the pendulum is swinging. So the answer to your question is yes. If that's the answer that you are looking for, nice, you know what to do next. If it's not, know that things happen for a reason. If it's not meant to happen right now, it doesn't mean that it won't happen in the future. You just need to take things one at a time, slow, with patience, because we are having here the fixed signs, small and steady wins the race, and it does. Okay, and with all that being said, this was your reading pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you like the video and a subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this in the future. I'm wishing you the best of luck in building your dream life, sending you all the love, all the great energy, high vibe energy, all the good stuff, okay? And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!